Well, we're kind of getting close to getting everything broken up, field sprayed, and we got the expert sitting here with us, kind of guide us a little bit. What do you think we need to be doing maybe different, and letting Roger and JJ kind of lead us about where we are right now? And you see anything new that we need to be doing here on the farms?
Last year, I didn't really get a chance to come back after y'all had planted. Well, I mean, I think we came back and talked and stuff, but I don't know if I looked around a whole lot. So I really don't know. I mean, I know y'all use the First Products drills, don't you?
Yep.
So y'all got a small box, big box
yep.
on that, I'm sure, and I know they do a good job. And we have the big seed separated from the small seed, and we can talk about that in a minute. But so there's nothing with application really, or equipment and stuff like that. And I'm sure y'all are putting out all the lime and stuff like that, and soil sampling and those types of things.
Yeah.
Do you have up at Rocky Branch any success? I know we had success, but anything worked better than on the soil content?
I think last year, I mean, we planted pretty much. I got with Dan and Bruce both, and we kind of come up with a game plan. We rode through and looked at different fields and kind of put our heads together on what everybody's thought was and where we wanted to try to get some annuals stuff. And I mean, we planted a combination of just about everything they got, and I think we had great success with all of it last year. I mean, the fields looked really good considering we was in a significant drought the first part of the season. But I mean, once we started getting some rain on it, I mean, even, we planted some of the alpha grays and tried it, and it set for, I don't know, 5-6 weeks before it got a rain on it. But when it got a rain, it's there and it's still growing strong to this day. And we'll definitely be looking at doing some more of that along with your other blends you got. But I was happy with it.
I tell you something we might want to try down here a little bit on this farm is might go after the alfalfa again too, with all the grain mixtures we got right here. But I might just try the alfalfa and stuff just to see how it does for us. Because a lot of times, as much as I've hunted in the Midwest and everywhere else, alfalfa's been good, but this has been really good for us. And is there anything, Roger, you want to ask and let Bruce kind of educate us on different mixtures?
No, I mean, we've been using it, and we've been successful with it. On this particular farm here, I don't have quite the acreage to plant, so I got a lot more perennial clovers, trying to go more toward that to keep just to have year-round stuff, and I plant. Actually, it seems like that does better than my spring and summer planting. The clovers have been holding up good for us, but you get in it, if it's hot and dry, I mean, it's gonna wilt on you. But I mean, it's really worked out pretty good. I mean, because it seems like whenever I plant, beans or whatever I plant, the deer population's so high here, it's that growing, as soon as it pops out of the ground, they're on it, and it's tough. But if you get that clover established, it seems to hang in there better for me.
I tell you, the good thing for us too is, here on both farms, we do so much turkey hunting too.
Yes, sir.
So obviously this blends itself not just in the fall, but forwards in the spring. And we love our turkey as much as we love our deer.
That's right.
And so a lot of this just really helps. Is there anything that we can do different, or you might suggest on some of your blends or seeds or anything?
I mean, I'd like to talk about exactly what y'all did last year, because I don't remember. I know we talked about, what y'all were going to do, but I didn't really, like we were saying a minute ago, get to see the results. So I'd love to discuss if there's any changes or anything, or any concerns or whatever, because a lot of the stuff we do an insane amount of it. So we get to learn from other people. They might be trying something we've never heard of that's working great or not. We get to take that and spread the word on it. So I'd like to discuss that. But you were talking about drought a minute ago. I wanted to say before I forget, the small seed here, like the Planter Forage Plus, the Everlast, like the Perennials you like, the brassicas, a lot of those seed in there have that coating on it, that yellow jacket coating. And it absorbs like 600 times its body weight of moisture. So when you do have that drought period and you get that dreaded half-inch of rain, it's not going to rain again for 60 days, and you sprout that plant and it dies, you'd rather it lay there. It'll sit there and feed it moisture.
I tell you, last year we put everything to the test. That's about the longest drought I've ever seen.
Last year was
in the fall, it was just absolutely horrible. We didn't really get rain till almost into November.
I remember y'all thought y'all lost some crops, and then I think it was you, one of y'all.
both of us thought we was losing it, but I mean, it hung in there and come on through. But yeah, last year's drought was pretty bad.
I've never seen anybody have to replant but one time. Out of all the like tens of thousands of acres of seedlings we've done, I've had one time on fall stuff, summer stuff, yeah. But fall stuff, I've only ever seen somebody have to replant maybe twice, but once that I remember. It'll lay there.
Well, I'm sure with the years y'all been doing it, obviously y'all got a good feel for what's good for this area.
Yeah.
As much as y'all sell locally, and I mean, people ain't gonna keep coming back buying from you year after year if it ain't been successful for them. So
That's right.
I'm sure you got certain blends that really sell good for you.
Yeah, it is like you said. It's more southeastern prep and ready, designed, but some of the stuff is just a matter of changing plant dates. If you're going further north, I mean, there might be a variety of something that's in a blend that you'd rather trade out, but some of it will do pretty good in the northern stuff. But like you said, it's more for the southeast and catering to where we are. You know, I know the Harvest Advantage right there. It's black oats, cocoa oats, triticale, wheat, and you know the triticale and black oats are the highest sugar content cereal grains in existence. So super sweet, super attractive, and that's why that's such a popular blend. I mean, people just really see way more activity on those plots, especially planted a little bit later where you got those plants that stay in that infancy stage longer. I know y'all do some of that in these places where you can, but our biggest seller and biggest liked mix by far is the Harvest Advantage and a bag of the Plant the Forage Plus right here. That's got 2 white clovers, 2 red clovers, chicory, and 2 brassicas. So it's got enough of the brassicas in it for that late season recovery when there's nothing else to eat in the woods, you know, January, February, March, April, when everything's just gone. Because they're probably not going to eat the brassicas until then anyway. Y'all know that. But I mean, the daikons are in there, they'll pop the top side of, but the rest of it, you know, it'll sit there and wait on them. So it's almost like you plant it again, you know, they come back in there later. But a bag and a bag plants an acre, and that's probably what y'all did last year, like a bag of Plant the Forage Plus and a bag of Harvest Advantage together plants an acre. And we've got the big seeds separated from the small seeds, so most everybody's got a drill, has got a small box, big box drill, you know, just like y'all have, and with the First Products drill. And
I tell you something, for us, with 2 farms are somewhat different, we got more clay on this farm right here that we have to deal with as far as the clay aspect of it. And, you know, just trying to get that all conditioned and soil samples and everything done in time. And we had to bring in some topsoil on one of our fields that had so much clay on it. Just got tired of battling it, but it should be a very much improved food plot for us this coming year.
Yeah, it's on top of a little old hill, so it was really
Got
hard
to catch
to
it all the
clay.
sun.
are y'all having to rip this ground up here? Or can you just drill it? I mean, you had to rip it every few years?
No, I mean, I do. I mean, but I drill, you know, especially like my clover stuff, I usually drill it and then, you know, every 3 or 4 years, till it all.
I got you. Well, you were talking about you like the perennials. This is the Everlast. I mean, I know we're talking about it. Y'all know what this stuff is, but obviously we're filming this, so I kind of want to take advantage to talk about some of this stuff that y'all even know about. But this is our multi-year perennial. It's got a white clover, red clover, and chicory. But like you were saying, you're starting to really get into more perennials, and more people are liking it. I mean, people are just spending more time doing other things, I guess. They're trying to spend less time planting food plots. So there are a lot of people are doing this. You know, we try to get people to put about a third of their place in perennials. But a lot of people are going further than that, especially like in plots that take longer to get to than it does to plant them, you know, them that you tread, taking forever to get to.
I know we've used a lot of this, but is anything new or different that we might want to try?
The new is the blow-till right here. I mean, it's kind of like the reason it's blow-till is you can take a blower and blow the leaf litter off the ground and throw it. Y'all probably won't use it here because all y'all's plots are big and you can get to them with equipment and things like that. But it's for guys that's got that little hidden spot that you got to drive a 4-wheeler to, and you know it's kind of small, and you just need to put something.
We've all done it.
Yeah, I mean it's a good tetraploid ryegrass. It's got clover, chicory, and some turnips. So it's kind of got a little bit more in it for that type of stuff. You know that kind of do a little better, but that's the only the new thing right now that we did. We kind of kept having people ask for it because so many people just don't have access to equipment and things like that. And they want to see something green.
Yeah, especially, you know, a lot of timber leases and stuff, you know, in this part of the country.
They won't let them cut a tree to get anything in.
So they got what a low opening they can get to. You can use something like that.
Yeah, I mean, it's been good. I mean, that ryegrass is in it. You know, I know a lot of people don't like ryegrass, and I don't either, certain ones, but that one that's in there is sweeter, and the deer actually They actually eat it. I mean, it's not as good, in my opinion, as some of the other stuff like Harvest Advantage or some of the clovers and chicory here. But if that's all you got to do, it's a good
That's
choice,
right.
you know, to get something that you can look at and hunt over. Yeah, I don't know what y'all's plans are for this year. I know y'all talked about doing more perennials, but sound like y'all were pretty happy with the Harvest Advantage and Planter Forager Plus mixed. I know with the bean trouble y'all have, one thing I like about and other people like about the Planter Forager Plus and the Harvest Advantage together is the clover and chicory that's in that. Although we don't say that it's a perennial or a multi-year, it does have clover and chicory in it that'll roll on into the next summer. It's not a full stand because you're mixing it, but if you wasn't gonna plant beans or anything anyway, and it's not a substitute for beans, but if you're not anyway, you can spray clethodim or post plus or something and still have a summer crop there of sorts, you know,
Right.
that you're planting in the you know, in the fall. So a lot of people use that for a benefit.
I think the only thing different I got planned is I'm gonna do a little bit more alfalfa this year.
Yeah, a lot of people are really liking that stuff. It's really taking off in this area. It's so popular that usually you're planting the stuff from the year before, but now they're having to harvest it, bag it, clean it, and sell it then. Like, you know, get it then because it's just huge demand.
And like you said, with it being,
Remember our first experience with alfalfa?
Yeah.
I said we'd never do it again. It took a little time for the deer to get used to it. And I'm saying, man, we have wasted this whole field. Planting this alfalfa as much as I've been out in the Midwest with alfalfa fields, never around the country. So it was a few years ago. I told Roger we wouldn't make this mistake again. But once those deer found it and liked it, like a magnet.
First time I did it, it took probably 2 years before they ran it, and then I couldn't run them out of it.
Well, that's what happened to us that first year. I'm like, man, we have ruined this field. They're not going to come eat it. Second year, and third year, they just took it over.
Yeah, it's amazing. So this is the forage brassicas we have, the planting the forage brassicas, and did y'all plant this year? I don't know if
I
y'all
did.
You did?
Yeah.
You plant
I
it?
mixed some.
Did y'all did y'all like it up here? Did the deer like it up here?
the deer and my family enjoyed it.
Yeah, we have a lot of people do that. Yeah,
My in-laws actually told me those were some of the best turnips they've cooked.
that's good.
So
I like it for them spots. I don't like to mix it as much because it's in the Planter Forager Plus. You know, that's the Planter Forager brassicas. It's in the Planter Forager Plus too, along with clover and chicory. But I like to do it as a standalone, just in other places that I feel like it might be where spots for late season where deer would come to easier or quicker because they might be spooky to travel the whole farm very far or whatever for that late season. You know, when there's nothing to eat in the woods, January, February.
well, I
March.
found too with that, with the turnips and all in it too, that and the radishes, them radishes got such that deep root and grow in, it helps break that compaction up in the soil a lot for you next year and all too. And
I bet that's a big deal for y'all here with this ground.
yeah, with the clay we got, it definitely it helps a lot.
Did y'all see them pulling them up and eating the bulbs and stuff up
Oh,
here?
yeah.
Yeah, they do that in
Yeah.
my place too. Late season. I mean, they'll eat the tops out of the daikons early, but then the rest of it, you know, we have people all the time that think that, you know, they just don't eat it because they didn't see it during deer season. So go back in February, you know, and you'll see, and then it's mowed down, you know, and just,
And I've even done some, and I've even gone in with the Harvest Advantage and did a real light drill, and then come back in and put the brassicas in there to keep them off some of the stuff that's in there until, and get them used to it. And I've had good results with that too. The Harvest Advantage to me is a great nurse crop, cover crop. You can put it with any of that stuff that we've talked about, and you just adjust your pounds per acre basically on how you want it. But I'll use Harvest Advantage on just about all my stuff, especially my clover plots and all that, and then I'll go back and do the clovers and stuff with it, the small seed.
I love Harvest Advantage. I mean, I hadn't counted it up or anything, but I bet we're 125, 150,000 acres deep in that blend over the years, and you never hear anything bad about it unless somebody planted, you know, bad time of year, you know, planted too deep or too skinny or whatever. They did something, you know.
Or too early and the army worms got
Yeah,
them.
whatever, bad pH, but you just don't ever hear about
Are you
somebody that
hearing
did
much
with
about armyworm? Speaking of that, have you heard much in the last couple of years? Yeah,
Not really. I mean, on some summer stuff, you know, people having brown top, you know, for a bird field or something, but hay fields and stuff, but not really on food plots as much. I mean, some, but not to the point that this kind of.
We got it a few years ago up at Rocky Branch.
This year in particular, I hadn't heard much about it at all.
Yeah.
I think I might have them now. I noticed a bunch of birds flying around in some fields we have, like just pastures and stuff, but I hadn't
Yeah.
I don't know what the deal is this year. I don't know if all this rain we've had. I always thought there was more when it was raining like
How,
that. I'm wrong.
How many people you think gonna jump the gun and do the early planting with the cooler temperatures and this false fall weather we're having in Georgia now?
Well, I could probably count some right now that are already buying seed right now and planting. You know,
You
we
got
try
people
to.
planting already?
We do, but we're trying to talk them out of it. But this just they have the time. This is when they can do it. They can't
Yeah.
do it any other time. And they're like, hey, I know it's a gamble, but this is when I can, so I'm going to. You know, and of course I try not to say too much. I mean, you know, that's what they're used to doing. And
I'm about to look up weather since you just said that.
Yeah.
For about the next 10, 12 days.
I imagine it's going to push a lot of people a lot earlier though. I normally try to do, you know, October at my place. We got to doing that years ago and talked. I bet I've talked to 100 people in the swap until later, and I don't think they'll ever go back. They're just seeing so
You
much
know,
more
me and
activity
Roger
on the
talked
plot.
about this a couple times because me and Roger both been doing this a long time now, and I can remember back in the day that first weekend in September is usually when we was trying to get food plots in the ground, and then it
Yeah.
seems like it just keeps creeping back a little bit each year. And now, I mean, I'm good with planting last week of September, 1st October is when I like to try to get my stuff in the ground now.
too.
And but it's just crazy how things have changed in that aspect of things. And because back then, I mean, we all thought that was the right thing to do. You wanted to get in there
I
and
did
try
too,
to
a
get
long
in
time ago.
before bow season. And I can remember one of the leases we had years ago. I mean, opening weekend of bow season, we'd usually go hunt that morning, and then we'd plant that all afternoon.
Yeah. But see, back then it used to October 1st. It used to open October 1st. Bow season did though. You know, so that's what hurt the planting seasons. I think is the earlier opening dates. Everybody's thinking, man, I got to have a food plot by opening day.
Absolutely. I learned over the years that I think people, well, first off, they think that seed is like genetically designed for deer. You know, they don't realize we're just using what's there and figuring out the mixes that work best and the best blend the time of year. But I think they think that 30 days before gun season comes, if you're any side, you know, one day inside of that's one day too late, you know, and on down, you know, you got to be in that 30-day window or you start clicking down the times that you're too late. But like the truth is, like Harvest Advantage, if a farmer was planting something like that, oats or triticale, y'all know, I mean, they'd be planting in like probably early November.
Well, weather, we do have some rain coming in tonight. Next 10, 12 days, we got some rain forecast. But opening weekend, both seasons, September 12th, 13th time frame. I think on that Saturday, you guys got an event.
Yes, sir. 13th.
You got football games up on big screens. And
We might have some TVs running. I don't even know yet. We've got a lot to do yet to get that thing ready. It's an educational event. 10 to 2, feeding everybody. It doesn't cost anybody a penny to come. Tyler's coming down. We got Tombo, buddy of mine from Buck Commander, coming down. I think Pitts is coming. Michael Pitts is coming. Mike Chamberlain is coming. But we normally have a bunch of educational stuff going on. And that's what it is. It's not a sales event. It's an educational event. Usually we had it kind of all day, but we got to notice some people just get tired and burn out, and so we've tried to shrink it up. But we're doing a bunch of giveaways. But it's a good thing. It's right there at our warehouse and rentals. But it's a good thing. I mean, everybody loves it. We had, I don't know, 400 or 500 people maybe last year or something. It's not huge. It'll probably be bigger this year, but everybody likes it being smaller like that. We don't care if it grows, but it's good. You can talk to people that are there that might have been on stage.
Well, 300 or 400 people is a lot of people.
It is for right there. I mean, for what we're doing, because you don't really know what to expect. You know, we don't know if it's going to be 70 or 700, but we plan for 400 or 500. But it's a good thing because it's one-on-one with stuff, you know, about people that really want to learn about stuff. Our UGA Ag County agent, that's a friend of ours. He does Taylor, which is our county, and Peach County, the one beside us. And he said the soil reports are up over 3,000% now in those two counties since we started. Now, we don't know if it's all education we've been trying to spread or if it's just the way it is, but he thinks it's probably a lot of what we've been doing, trying to spread the word, and him. You know, we get him on camera a lot talking about soil quality and soil prep, but he'll be talking about chemicals and stuff there. His name's Jeff Cook, but it's a good thing. I mean, everybody leaves there happy. We've got guys that drive from Central and South Florida just to come to that, and they say they're glad they're.
And that is the open day of the Georgia bow season.
Right.
Correct? Yeah.
And that's why we moved it. A lot of people are thinking it's a bad thing, but I mean, first off, it's 10 to 2, so I doubt a lot of people are going to be sitting in September weather. Hopefully it's this cool, but probably gonna turn back off hot. So
Well, like you said, you can do a morning hunt, and you still got time to get in there for an afternoon hunt
yeah,
and eat a good lunch in between.
yeah, and we used to do spring, but we had so many guys that had been here all winter hunting, and they really got to from out of town, and they really got to go home and catch up with things. So we figure having it,
Yeah.
opening, we'll have a lot more
Right.
people that show up, and
Yeah.
maybe it'll be cooler, and plus we can talk about fall plants instead of spring plants, because that's
Yeah.
where we see the education stuff. It's not really the feeding as much or scent stuff or stuff like that. It's more the planting kind of things that people have trouble with. A lot of times they're just trying too hard. I mean, I don't know how many times I've had people. I'm standing at our old shop where we used to be, talking to somebody sitting right here, and there's gravel behind them with red dirt in it that I hauled in that has no value to a plant at all, and they're telling me they can't get clover to grow, and I'm looking behind them and it's growing in the gravel behind them, where somebody spilled it.
Yeah.
Just trying too hard, sometimes, and putting stuff too deep.
I
or
tell you,
whatever.
people don't really realize how much, even though if you do it a lot, there's so much to learn about farming and doing what to do and not to do.
Yes, sir.
And again, rain has such a big part of it. And then obviously you got a lime and soil sample and everything else. Most people, and I get it, probably don't do the soil sample stuff, but it's so important to know what you're dealing with, how much lime stuff to put back down, fertilizer. But
It's a
I
big
think
deal.
anything you do on the educational side, just a little bit to help people. And a lot of times the soil sample stuff doesn't really cost any money other than just time,
Yes.
going to do it.
I agree. We have guys come in there to get 10 bags of seed and 2 bags of fertilizer. And
Yeah.
it should be the other way around.
Yeah.
But they want them plants, and they can't really see the fertilizer as much,
Yeah.
But we try to talk about stuff like that. I saw a study recently that said if your pH of your soil, I think, was a 5.0, that you're only utilizing like 24% of your fertilizer.
Yeah.
So like I've talked to row croppers for sure that if they had to pick one, whether it be lime or fertilizer, they would choose lime over fertilizer.
Yeah.
But I've never seen a food plotter that would do that.
Yeah, that's right.
Because you wouldn't. I mean, common sense tells you why would I want, why I want lime. I know fertilizer's going to do something, but it's really not doing a whole lot without your pH being right and your lime being down. We're trying to get people now to open up their roads some, so you can get spreader trucks in, because so many people are having to use pelletized lime because they got little tiny roads that you can't get a spreader truck in,
Yeah.
and nobody ever puts out enough. Because if you're calling for a ton or a ton and a half to the acre,
Yeah.
I mean, them little 40-pound bags, I mean, you'll be out there till 2,000 and never trying to get enough, on 3 or 4 acres of food plots.
I tell you, that's been helpful for me, even learning a little bit more and kind of what maybe we can plant. Appreciate you coming over and educating us a little bit more.
Yes, sir.
I know
Thank
you got a good event coming up September 13th,
Yes, sir.
and Tyler's going to be there, barbecue. You got lots of barbecue. And I know JJ and Roger both, just anything you can do to educate us a little bit more. And I think for us too, is just you taking our feedback, what we have to. I think it just helps all of us. So
Absolutely.
from the Realtree guys, we appreciate that.
Yes, sir. Thank y'all.
Yeah, I appreciate you coming over, Bruce, and
Yes, sir.
sitting down with us.
Anything we can do to help, we're glad to.
Cooler temps, more rain.
Yes.
It's looking good right now, and it feels good now for sure.
Feels good right here now.
Yes, sir.